William, what made you get involved with being an inspection volunteer?
Well, I was attending a community rehab in Glasgow, and a care inspector came in to inspect the place, and we got talking, and I was chosen to give her a tour of the place, kind of thing, and we got talking, and she seen something in me that she thought would be helpful as a volunteer for them, and she asked me to volunteer, and I did. I applied for it, and yeah, that was about 6 years ago, I think.
Wow! I didn't. Well, it does seem like you've been in here forever, but I didn't realise it was long as that. And how did you find the training?
The training was great. Yeah, I mean, it was in the Hilton Hotel in Glasgow. We were there for 2 days, and they went through all kinds of different scenarios you could find yourself in, and just gave you good advice on what to do. And it was I mean, the answer was always the same: talk to the inspector, report it to the inspector. You're never, you know, they made it clear you're always safe, you're always secure. You're a volunteer. You're never in a position, you know, where you need to do anything drastic or make any drastic decisions. So yeah, just so many scenarios they went through that could happen, which was good, you know.
No, that's great. That's really, really good. And William, what do you get out of being an inspection volunteer?
Well, I get so much out of it, you know. Over the last probably 5 years, maybe, I've been going on inspections, and it's gave me so much because, you know, it gives you an opportunity to give a bit back, to be there for people, to listen, to be a space for people. And when you do that, you're being a space for yourself as well. So you get so much out of it, you know, and yeah, you see a lot of suffering, you know, and it brings it home to you, and it just gives you a kind of a better outlook in life, you know, and you just feel better when you're hopefully helping people, at least being there for people, letting them see somebody cares, somebody wants to listen, you know. It's just good. It's just good for the soul.
Oh, that's good. That's really nice to hear. And do you think that with your personal experience, does that help you to relate to people? And how do you, does that help you in terms of talking to them and having a kind of shared understanding that perhaps other people in the care inspectorate don't have?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've told me that themselves. People I've spoke to in services. The fact that I've been in the same service, maybe, or the same kind of service in the past myself for many years, you know, when they hear that, they just relax a bit more, you know, and it's just like they're talking to their buddy, you know, kind of thing. And I mean, some of them have even said it, you know, he's one of us, you know, I shouted, you know.
Nice.
And that's, yeah.
That's great. That's really good. And I suppose I'm just thinking about, you know, why is it important to get the views of people that are using the services?
Well, it's important because, you know, staff see it from a staff's point of view. You know, I want to see it from a service user's point of view. You know, and staff, maybe even unconsciously, staff will miss things out. They won't tell you certain things, you know, because they don't want to, you know, maybe cause any trouble for themselves or whatever. Not in a bad way, but they just miss them. They just kind of miss them out. And you want to know how a person is getting, how they feel about it, what their perception of their treatment is, or how they feel. Because somebody could be sitting and everybody thinks they're okay, and then you talk to them and they haven't, you know, they've been missing medication, or they haven't been, hygiene hasn't been good, or whatever, you know. You just find out so much more. And then when somebody is able to tell you these things, it gets it off their chest, you know.
Yeah. And do you think that you see things more, you notice things because of your experiences?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I remember what hurt me, what I missed, what treatment that hurt me. I remember the important things to me, what they were, and maybe if they weren't getting looked at. You know, even like dental stuff, getting your teeth fixed and stuff like that. You know, it's nice to smile. And if you can't smile because you feel self-conscious about your teeth and stuff, just small things like that. You know, getting taken to appointments and stuff, getting cared for, you know, supported. Yeah, I noticed things. Yeah, obviously, because I was in these services for many years.
No, that's great. That's really, really good. And you do other things as well. I mean, obviously you go in and you do inspection visits with an inspector, but you've also done some focus groups. And you've done some telephone interviews as well. And how do you find them? And are they another good way to get people's views across? Yeah.
Focus groups are good because, you know, when you've got a group of people, service users, they will tell you everything, you know, because one person starts talking about something and somebody else will come in and say, oh, yeah, that's right. They didn't do that either, or this happened or that happened. And, you know, if you can keep it quite orderly, then you'll get a lot of information that way, you know.
No, that's great.
Rather than one-on-one, if you've got a group, you learn a lot more. And the telephone interviews I found were a lot better than expected. You know, I felt a real connection on the phone, which was strange. I didn't expect it, but people, first of all, they're glad to get the phone call.
Yeah, you know?
Somebody asking them how they are and if they're getting treated okay.
Yeah.
Just that.
And sometimes we hear about people tell us when they're doing telephone calls that because the person can't see you, that perhaps they can really open up.
All right, yeah, I would agree with that. Your tone of voice is important then, you know, on the phone, you know. But yeah, I found that myself. Yeah, people open up and they will sit and talk to you for a good while.
So tell me a bit about the interviews that you were involved in for the Chief Exec for the Care Inspectorate.
Okay, yeah, I was involved in the interview process for choosing the new Chief Exec for the Care Inspectorate. I was invited to sit in the panel.
Wow.
Which was amazing. You know, there was I think there was about 12 people. I've done it twice now. So the first one, they took me to Dundee, put me up in a hotel in Dundee, attended the interview process, and that was fascinating. And I got to ask a couple of questions to the applicants, and that was really a special time to be part of that, choosing the new chief executive. You know, even just being there as a volunteer, it was fantastic. Yeah, and and just another part of this whole volunteer process that's done me the world of good.
That's great. And do you feel that the people on the panel, did they listen to your views, and were your views and your input, was that taken into account?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I got a lot of respect. You know, I was just myself. I just kind of, you know, no airs and graces, and I just talked as I normally talk, and people are down to earth, you know, and people were, I mean, I really enjoyed it because, you know, it let me see a different kind, it let me see behind the curtain kind of thing of what happens and
I just wanted to say that I had the pleasure of actually supporting you when you actually went to the Apex to do the interviews, William.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm cutting in is because you had a wee bit of imposter syndrome when you actually went there. You felt a bit like you shouldn't be there before you went in, but when you came back out, you recognised that your voice was heard and that you were able to really contribute to the interviews. And afterwards, we actually got an email from the HR team to say that you would be welcome anytime because your contribution was really important. But I want to ask something different because I know Claire won't. When you joined the Care Inspectorate, how important was your support and your training from your coordinator? Because I know a lot of people will join us and feel, oh, could I do that? What happens if I feel uncomfortable? You know, they put all sorts of barriers in place to stop themselves from doing it. If you could maybe explain how that worked for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, Claire's been an amazing support from day one. You know, it's kind of like a babysitter. She's been babysitting me, you know, so, well, just allowing me to be, and you know, no pressure on me. She's supporting me the whole way. She's always there. I'm never in any situation where I feel I can't handle it. You know, it's Claire's been amazing, and it's been a great relationship and friendship, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's been great.
That's
great. The thing is as well, William, you did take part in some training, and you obviously we update you on changes within the organisation. And do you feel that the support you get from the overall organisation helps you kind of conduct your role a bit easier?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, even when I come into the office in Paisley and stuff, you know, everybody's just waving, saying hello, and everybody's really friendly, and you feel really appreciated. You know, that's the thing. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So, yeah, the support from my coordinator and the support from the organisation as a whole has been fantastic. You know, I've never felt vulnerable in any way.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. One last question. We are going to be recruiting new people. So would you be able to tell us, if you had to give a bit of advice to a new recruit or somebody that was thinking about becoming an inspection volunteer, what would you say?
Well, I would say, I think it's something that's really worth getting involved with for yourself and for the community and for people that don't have a voice. You know, go and be an ear for somebody, and that what you give out, you get back. You know, and you'll feel the benefit of that as well as them. It's a great thing.
And do you feel that it is important for the Care Inspectorate to get the voices of people who are using services?
Oh, definitely, of course. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people feel they don't have a voice, and they don't, you know. I went through services for many years and never had a voice, you know. The only people I got to speak to were people that worked in the service or worked for it in some way or another. So for somebody to come in from the outside, from a place like the Care Inspectorate, and give it and have an ear for you, you can tell things that you couldn't tell any staff members, you know, that's a great thing. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I think that's it, William. Thank you so much.
All right.
Smashing.
Yeah.